we didn't have the chemistry for the first year. We did have the chemistry when we first sat down, when I first met her and had lunch. Because I was sitting there with the real, authentic, unbelievably fascinating Hoda. And I said, you know, Hoda, if you could be the same person on camera as the girl that I had lunch with,
yeah,
we could have a good show. And eventually, as we worked together a little bit more, and she got rid of the IFB in her ear, and she got rid of all of her notes, and just started talking and sharing life, and we started having lunch together quite a bit, and she came to my home, and she got involved with my family. I met her family. We did Broadway together all the time. You know, you start sharing life and you start falling in love with the person.
You become friends too.
Real, genuine
Yeah.
friends. And so, honestly, that's the reason I stayed 9 years, is because by the time I was ready to leave, I was in love with Hoda and in love with so many of the people that I work with here. So, you know, and Frank was still on this planet with me, and my kids were still, Cass was still a high school student, and Cody had just gone off to USC that year. So it just seemed like a good time to just keep things sort of, you know, day by day. So I used to sign 1-year contracts, just let's see. When you have a family, and you'll discover this when you and Lauren are blessed to have children, all of a sudden nothing else in the world matters but them. So I used to take my family's temperature every year and say, okay, is this a good time to leave? Should we be thinking something else? Is everybody good? You know, or is somebody struggling with something? And by the time I left the show with Regis, we were just, people who don't know me very well don't remember that we couldn't get off the tabloids, couldn't get the paparazzi out of our face, couldn't have any semblance of normalcy, and it was so unfair to my children who were, you know, teenagers by then. And I said, you know what, you know, always put your family first, you'll never regret it. When you don't are the times that you'll regret it.
When did you guys realize that this thing is working, you and Hoda? Was it a specific show? Was it after you became really close friends with her?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember a specific moment. I just remember when it came time to talk to NBC about staying or not, I remember thinking, oh, I like starting my days with Hoda and everybody. You know, the same way I did with Regis for 15 years.
So this is a book of all your Instagram pictures, and I just kind of, you know, congratulations, Haley Joy, and then all things that you, how about this one? Are you
Even upside down, they're beautiful. That's my favorite right there. Look at that.
She's the best baby.
She just had her very first Mother's Day.
How was the very first Mother's Day?
It was beautiful. It was really, I mean, I couldn't have, it was great. It was great. It was great.
Look what you're doing to us.
Anyway, it's beautiful. Thank you for this.
You're so welcome.
Look at little Haley.
What has been the biggest change that you've noticed ever
She
since?
cries a lot. She really does cry a lot.